series get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go. Start! 230.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Gordon. Nifty move by Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Roethlisberger now complete to Switzer. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Now Gordon on first down. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Ready? 50.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Ready? Black 20. Hey, eat. You. 24. Let's go.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man is Gordon, complete. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. 77.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Set. 8, read. I'm trying to collect. Step.
Roethlisberger running the option left. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Watch twist. Watch twist. We're going to 54. 1 Kill.
Throwing. Prescott. Got a man open. It's Ross. He's at the 40. 20. 10. Touchdown. Cowboys. John Ross. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Under 10. All right, kill. Go. Get out there. 26.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Elliott running right. And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise, if they never have to worry about running the football, it is just a controlled sprint to your quarterback, and eventually you're calling on your backup quarterback.
But they got to do better than that last go-around. They went in the wrong direction.
Got to love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now Ben on 3rd and long. They'll rifle this one. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
1st down run with Elliott going to go for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now on 2nd and 16, Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line. It's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Now Lewis looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now it's the backup Rudolph. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. Shoves him aside. And some strong running. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
And what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Here's Jordan Berry now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
There we go. There we go. Kill it. 46. Hey.
A first down throw for Prescott. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That's Vince Williams who gets the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, and normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. This time they stay on the ground. Nifty move. Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And how about this line out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Now Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Rudolph off play action. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Randy Gregory. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. First down, Prescott. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Prescott. That's complete to Cobb. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But it'll be 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Gordon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That 2nd down play nets a -4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Hey, Haywood. 48. We don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. Hey. Game situation. Let's go. 48. Let's go.
Going for it. It's Rudolph. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Hey, they scared. Gun. Hey, kill.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Looking to throw. Prescott. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal.
Hey, check 24. Watch it.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's...
There goes Melvin Gordon. 30. 10, 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Melvin Gordon, 81 yards. And the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit. Boswell good with the extra point. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Prescott. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Elliott on 1st down, going to get about 3 before he's taken down. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle. On 2nd and 7, Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. There he goes, Amari Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 9th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyrone Crawford make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouse.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Let him know, let him know. X3, 218, chopper. Bravo. Shoot.
From the gun on 3rd down. Brenner. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. But it's brought in by Washington. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it here with Gordon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. From the 41, Rudolph. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards there and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
64.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And that will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking back.
And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. On 1st and 10, Rudolph. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This is Connor looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Rudolph now to throw. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Prescott now. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, you start to wonder if it's going to happen this year. The skid has hit 13 in a row on the season. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.